When I was a boy, I spoke as a child. When I became a man, I put away childish ways. I'm on my grown man status. I'm on my grown man status. Living in the world of boys to men.
What's going on, everyone? It's your man, the Saint, aka R.O.M.A.N. I'd like to thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Man Status One-on-One. Now, if you would, please hit that subscribe button as well as the like button. Now, let's get to it. Today's title is What Destroys a Relationship? That's simple. Change. Whatever you had to do to get your mate, you must continue to do that. Whether you were free-hearted with your money, whether you were very romantic, whether you were submissive, whether you kept yourself fit, whether that's with weight or without weight, whatever you had to do to get your mate, you must continue to do that. Otherwise, you've just become a stranger and put that within yourself. Now, your mate doesn't like that because if they would have known you was going to act like that, they wouldn't have never gotten with you. If you became an alcoholic, drunk a lot, smoking, if they didn't like smoking and that's what you started doing, letting your parents go, that ain't what they thought they was going to get when they married you. A person who wants to be real argumentative. I ain't trying to argue with my woman. The same with the woman. There's things that as a man, if you were doing a lot of things, you must continue to do that because she wouldn't have never accepted your proposal had you been this person that you are now. Another thing, keeping your business to yourself. That especially goes with a lot of family. I know a lot of women who run their mouths to their sisters and tell them all kinds of crap about what's going on in their relationships. And those sisters is sitting there laughing. They'll sit up here and give their sisters bad advice that they wouldn't even take themselves. And after their sisters get divorced, they still got their husbands. And when her and her husband gets into it, her sister tries to give her that same advice back and she's like, She said, why not? You gave it to me. And the sister is saying, look what it did to you. You lost your husband, but that's what you told me. I didn't make you do it. I'm keeping my husband. You see, a lot of times when you running your mouth about the problems that you have with your mate to friends and family, you ain't nothing but a running soap opera. You are walking young and the restless. And they can't wait to hear that mess, what goes on with you and your husband. A good mate will always keep what's in their house in their house. A good family member or a friend would be like, hold up, you wrong. Instead of running to me with a lot of this stuff, what are you doing to change or try to fix it? That's what they would be doing. They wouldn't always side with you. If you think I'm lying, do this. Here's a test. Women, men, here's a test. I want you to say something crazy, make it up to one of your friends or family members and see how they react. And see what type of advice they give you. If they gonna ride with you because you know you wrong in this scenario. If they gonna ride with you or they gonna say, he or she is too good to you. No, you wrong. When they stop you like that, you know you got somebody in your corner that cares about you and your mate. But if they just gonna ride with you no matter what, no matter how bad you are, that's not a good friend. Relationships are between you and your mate. A marriage is between a man, a woman, and God. Now, I'm not about to argue whatever you're married to or whatnot. Well, we'll just have to agree to disagree, okay? I'm entitled to my thoughts and opinions, and you are too. So we'll just leave that there. I don't have a heaven or a hell to put you in, and vice versa. You don't have one to put me in either. But what I'm saying is, get spiritual counseling before you get married because men control marriage, women control the sex. A lot of women would sit up here and say, oh, a lot of men are just intimidated because I make so much money and they're intimidated with my stature. Let me tell you something. Ain't no man intimidated by your status. No good man. No man making about 75,000 up is intimidated about any amount of money you make. The reason a lot of black men won't get with a lot of black women that's making that kind of money because they don't want to hear it thrown in their face. Well, I make 125 and you only make 60,000. Da, 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 da. He's still a man. He don't need that thrown in his face. Trust me, a real man it does kind of hurt inside. He wants to be the head. If you a submissive woman who doesn't keep throwing that up, he's gonna work harder if you picked a good man. Because see, he actually picks you, but you have to decide if you want to accept or not. You have to accept the right man because see, you're a woman. Being a female, men are always coming at you. And a lot of times it is for one thing. See, men can mess with 300 women, don't have to know their names, won't lose no sleep, and can have a good woman at home, but he ain't leaving that woman for nobody. But a woman can get some good sex and she's ready to leave the husband, the kids, everything, just because she's operating off that emotion. But the thing I'm saying is, if you make more than your man, don't throw it up in his face. Now let's go back to that word submissive, because I think I need to define it to you. You see, the word submissive does not mean slave or weak. It just means you acknowledge that your man is the head. You don't have no problem submitting to your boss at work. You don't have no problem submitting to the rules of your job, because if you don't, you're going to be fired. And the same thing will happen in a relationship. If you don't submit to your mate in a relationship, you're divorced. And that's not a good thing, because nobody truly wants to die alone. They talk all that single life and fun, but I will see those same people on the internet crying and acting all sad, saying men ain't no good. I thought the single life was good. I thought it was all of that. They try to make it sound good so you can believe they having fun, but deep inside, nobody wants to die old alone. But when you submit, it just says he's the head. That's all. And you'll see a lot of men leaving the race because they got to be with somebody. They'll find another woman to submit to, and you'll sit up here and say, oh, he weak. He had to go. No, he's not weak. He just don't want no mess. You see, men have to automatically come up front with what we bring to the table. Off tops, he's got to have a car. He's got to have his own place. He's got to have a job, make a substantial amount of money, dress a certain way. He's got to come correct. You already know what he's about on that first date. And when he says, okay, I'm making over 6 figures, I've got tons of women after me, what do you have to offer to bring to the table? That's when a lot of women get mad. When the true answer should be, I'm going to be your peace. You're going to put your heart right here in my hands, and I'm going to secure it. When you down, I'm going to lift you up. When we have kids together, I'm going to raise them as a good mother. You don't have to worry about me going around and sleeping with other men, this and that, and making you look like a fool. I'm going to help make you stronger. You are going to want to come home to me because I will be your peace. I am your rib that God took to make me. I will be your Eve and you will be my Adam, and I will be that rib that covers your heart. See, when you get to talking like that, a man wants that. See, we work hard. We take so much stuff as black men out of this world. And when we come home, the last thing we want to do is fight with you or argue with you. That don't make you strong. That makes you weak. If you arguing with your man in public, I actually had a woman years ago tell me, well, you just too weak. That's probably why we can't be together. She said, because I'm too strong. I said, no, baby. You the weakest of every woman I've ever known. Because a strong woman would have said, wait till we get home and we gonna handle this. See, she don't need to air her laundry out to the world. She is going to handle her business at home. She's going to keep everything tight. And I'm going to tell you another thing that destroys a lot of relationships. When you married, don't no man want to hear every time you get mad, well, I'm getting a divorce. I don't want this no more. I hear too many brothers hearing this from their wives. If you keep saying that, let me tell you something. There's life in words. And I'm not just talking about that from the Bible. I've heard people like Oprah Winfrey, Will Smith, so many big successful celebrities have talked about you speaking things into existence. You keep talking that negative stuff in your relationship and it's going to go down the drain. I like the old school women. They be like, I don't care about what's going on. You're going to sleep on that couch, but you ain't going nowhere. Give me the keys. We may get into it. You may be there for a while. But this family, We doing life without parole, baby. That's how you secure your relationships. You don't be out in the clubs bumping and grinding and twerking all on some dude's front. Well, it ain't sex, it's disrespectful. Because if you went to the club and you seen your man all bumping up against someone twerking, especially if she got a better body and look better than you, and all the guys got their eyes on, you gonna be hurt. But like I said, if you truly want to know how your mate feels, put yourself in their shoes. If you're going to holler at a guy on your job, or if you're a guy and you're going to holler at a woman on your job, picture your spouse talking to all up in the face of somebody that looks better than you with a better body, and they enjoying it. And see if that fire don't burn up in your chest. That's all you got to do. When you see that, you should be like, nah, I can't do this. Because I know how I would feel. We're talking about relationships. We ain't talking about no single people. That's a whole different game over there. We can talk about that another time. But we are talking about what destroys relationships. I'm going to tell you another thing. You want a job. You traveling out of town all the time. Oh, I'm just chilling. Me and my boss, me and my friends, we going out for training. A lot of times, a lot of these people lying about what they doing when they going out of town. They going out there to mess around. I done seen it on too many jobs. Also, you got to remember, there was a time when you were single. There was a time when you did a lot of things. What did you do? You see, by the time you get in a relationship, you need to cut all that stuff loose. I know every once in a while it feels good to hear you still got it, or people may be interested, but you put them in their place. You understand what I'm saying? There comes a time where respect always has to stand first. I ain't worried about what you do in front of me. I'm worried about what you do behind my back when I ain't around. I should hear all kind of people. Man, you got a good one. So-and-so, people be trying to holler. She put them right in their place. Instead of looking up, it's all kind of guys up in her DMs. And she responded back, well, it ain't like I'm having sex. I've seen women get upset because they men is liking other women's pictures on social media. But these same women are putting pictures of themselves in swimsuits and bikinis and lingerie, and thousands of guys are lusting at them, and they don't see nothing wrong with that. What's the difference? You see, there's a lot of double standards going on. Real men that have high stature, high valued, and even Henrys, high earners, high earners in training. Guys who may be in the 70,000s on their way up there. A lot of men don't want no woman on social media. They don't want that attention. Because see, a lot of women and guys, I'm going to stop because I don't want to seem like I'm just favoring one. They'll get that dang Instagram. Not only can they talk on it, but they can do videos and stuff. There's too many ways people can cheat. Make sure you get with somebody that wants the same thing you want. Well, overall, whatever you did to get your mate, you have to continue to do that. Don't look all beat down and raggedy. I've even seen women who are pregnant. I've seen some, they just look bad. I've seen some women keep their pregnancy and they look so beautiful. They just beautiful. They're saying, hey, I may be pregnant, but I ain't got to look like I'm raggedy. They still carry themselves. It's a choice. Just like everything in life, it's a choice. You have to choose to want to hold that relationship together. Fellas, you want a good woman, you got to keep that woman. You can't be sitting up here playing games, cheating on them, making them cry because you feel like they want you, that's turning you on. Yeah, it's some dog guys out there. I'm not going to just get on women. I'm going to get on men too. Your woman's hair is falling all out. You know where she's at. But yet you still want to have your cake and eat it too. No. When you get committed, you're committed. A lot of women, if you're with black men, I'm going to tell you the little things that black men like. It's the little things that mean a lot. I'm going to tell you, most of us black men will get like little shaving bumps because the tip of our hair tends to curl. And sometimes it'll go back into the skin. I'm keeping it 100 with y'all. And you'll see them hair bumps under the neck. Man, we love when a woman lays us back, gets a pair of tweezers, and starts busting the bumps out, pulling that out there. It hurts, but it feels good. It's a sort of pampering. That kind of stuff keeps a man coming back, knowing your man. Different things that he likes. He might want his toes popped. He might want his toes done. He might want his back massaged. He may just want to lay on your lap and just hear you talk. You see, that's that bond, that communication. All that yelling, all that putting on makeup and going out. I'm going to be honest. A lot of my partners I know that do got money, they don't like all the long nails. I don't need all that stuff. That show stuff. We don't like all of that. And you may get mad because you like that, but I'm just saying, if you do that, set aside some time, which are just natural. We love that natural beauty. We love the natural scent, your natural hair. Sometimes I love to see a sister with an afro just picked out her crown on her head. You don't have to do all this crazy stuff. You don't have to put 1,000 tattoos all on you. You just be you. I've worked with women who weren't even that attractive. But after getting to know them, their spirits is right. They just seem so beautiful. And you're going to say, man, you will say, man, whatever man marries her, he's going to be a happy man. Because she brings a certain aura around her that you just want to be around. It just brings peace, a good voice, a soft voice. We don't want all that hood and all this and that. I'm not talking down on hood because I grew up there. But let me tell you something. Just because you're from the hood don't mean you're supposed to stay there all the time. Just because you get government assistance doesn't mean that you're supposed to lay on your back, keep popping kids to keep getting that government assistance. Because I'm telling you, that season is about to be over. You go to other countries like in Asia where they don't give that stuff out. You're going to really want to be keeping your man. If they stop giving so much government assistance, you will see a big decrease in a lot of single parents. A lot of people will start staying together. The Western Hemisphere has given a lot of women a lot of freedom, which they've taken advantage of. Stick with your man. You're not going to ever find a perfect man. And because he's got a lot of money, that doesn't mean perfect. There's a lot of dang good men that make $50,000, $60,000 a year. But because they're not making that much money that you want, you don't want to be with them. If he's making $60,000 and you make $60,000, that's $120,000. Y'all doing something. Y'all working together. He can have a Social Security. You got one. He's got a pension. You got a pension somewhere around there. Y'all retire. Y'all ain't working no more. Y'all bringing about $10,000 in a month. But y'all ain't looking at it like that. Y'all ain't looking at the future. You looking at the now. I got to get those blue faces. I got to get all this money. I'm going to tell you something. Fast money brings slow problems that stick around. Find a good man. Work with him. Find a good woman. Work with her. Show each other that y'all don't want nobody else. Y'all going to stick together. Y'all ain't bringing nobody else in y'all business. Now, this podcast of mine is real new. I'm just getting started. I'm getting tons of emails with different topics. We're going to come back and we're going to do another segment on this. And when I do, I'm going to bring some people live on here and we're going to talk about a lot of stuff. And I'm going to let you know, we're going to agree to disagree at times because you may not agree with everything, but we will respect each other's decisions. I got a lot of stuff in the Bible I want to talk about. I got a lot of stuff in sports. I've played middle school, high school, college basketball. I've toured all over the country. There is so many things I've done. And I've got a lot of experience and wisdom in. And I just want to share it with y'all. I want to open this up. Let's get some things out on the table and let's fix some things. Communication is the biggest problem with almost everything in the world. Because if you don't communicate, it leaves a lot of room for assuming. And we don't need that. All right, I'm getting ready to wrap this up. Until next time, remember, God woke you up and the rest is up to you. God woke you up and the rest is up to you. All right, one.